Folks, DeAnna Lorraine joins us, one of the smartest conservatives in all of America with a huge future in elective politics. I hope you run again. She tried to take out Nancy Pelosi. Didn't work that time, but maybe next.
Keep it here, guys, all night. We're going to be here all night, I think till 11 or midnight, covering the debate and then the aftermath of the debate and all the commentary. So keep it here. This is the place to be for both debates. All right, let's hand it over to Trump. I think he is starting.
Once you start throwing one Molotov cocktail, once you start assaulting any police officer or anybody at all, once there's a fire, a looting, vandalism, it is no longer peaceful.
Democrats are the masters of projection. They are the masters of it. Everything that they accuse anyone else of doing, they are doing it themselves. Are you kidding me? Stealing the election? They have been trying to steal the election since before President Trump even got into office, and they said that's what their intentions were. We had Russia, we had Ukraine, we had the impeachment scandal, and now they're trying to steal it by getting mail-in voting.
John Lewis, what about all the Black Lives Matter protests that have been happening all over and not a peep from them about those being super spreaders or those leading to deaths? You know, I mean, we talk about the coronavirus 24/7, but really the real pandemic is the fake news media.
What they're doing is trying to systematically break down our spirit, bring in a huge dose of fear for other people, even people that we would normally think were safe. Remember in the beginning, they said less than 15 people is okay, you know, social distancing, okay. And then they've whittled away at that more and more and more and injected more and more fear so that at this point, we're afraid to be around our own family members. He needs to go on offense, and they're doing this deliberately. This is their weapon. They're trying to intentionally throw him off. They're getting him on the defense. They're attacking, interrogating him viciously because they know he's got so much ammo, and they're afraid he's going to use it, so they're getting him off base. They're getting him off his game, and it's kind of working a little bit. And Trump's doing a good job. He's being pretty solid, but he needs to just stop all this, say stop. Let's talk about what's really important. Let's talk about the bombshells that have been released in the last 24 hours, the news that the media refuses to talk about, that the media has been actively coordinating with big tech to suppress. Why aren't we talking about that, Samantha Guthrie? Why aren't we talking about that, Chris Wallace in a pink pantsuit? I welcome you to Maidengate. Hashtag Maidengate. A bunch of women that are coming forward that said that they believe that their maiden name was being used by the Democrats to cast multiple votes. After advocating for the shutdown of small businesses all across America, and especially in California, it's like a war zone. Salons, hair salons, nail salons, all the small businesses are shut down because of coronavirus for our health and safety. I haven't even gotten a real professional haircut or dye or color or anything since March. But Nasty Nancy takes it upon herself to make a private little appointment and sneak into this little salon in San Francisco, trying to be all covert and under the radar about it, and get her hair blown out and done. And then she got called out on it. And I love it. I love that she got called out on it by the salon owner.
Just in LA alone, the LAPD said in June, homicides have risen 250%. Okay, and over the weekend between LA, New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, Atlanta, over 160 were dead in violence and shooting over the weekend, just in 4th of July weekend alone. And these are the same, you know, Don Lemonhead, Chris Cuomo, these are the same people that said that the thugs that were out looting and burning down buildings and rioters, those were just peaceful protesters. And the CHOP isn't a radical Antifa terrorist takeover. No, the CHOP is just a kumbaya, peaceful style street fair. These are trained pathological liars, and they lie over and over again to distract Americans from the real problems that are going on, like the total takeover of America that's happening before our eyes.
The Great Global Reset, that we've been talking about and sounding the alarm out. Remember, according to the Great Reset in the World Economic Forum, their slogan is, you will own nothing, you will have no privacy, and you will be happy.
It's funny how they're all ordering us to wear masks, but we're really seeing the people that are behind the mask, which seem to be just perpetuating fear and misinformation and lies. Why is it that it seems like half of these crew members or camera crew or reporters, they're not wearing masks if the cameras are not rolling?
We have way too many softies in Congress. and an office that just cave and cater to the left.
It is our moral and constitutional duty to fight and take back what's ours. And to fight.
People are tired of seeing speakers. I think people are tired of hearing people talk. Same old speakers. We're ready for action, right? We're ready for war.
We're done with talk. We're done with talk. We want to see the war.
There has been a shocking rise in stillborn babies because of coronavirus.
Well, first of all, I just have to ask, how much did the deep state and did the DNC pay Mary Trump to write this, a piece of garbage? This isn't even something I would use as toilet paper.
If we all have that mindset together that this is just halftime, Trump isn't going anywhere, he's got the rest of the time to make up the game, I think that we'll be in good shape because we have to have the winning position. The Karen Act was just unanimously voted in by San Francisco officials today. Never mind the trash and drugs littering the streets. No, what San Francisco chooses to do is vote unanimously to ban racially motivated 911 calls. A Karen Act, they're trying to be cute.
And are you going to say with a straight face where he said we have to ban fireworks for the 4th of July, and he's issuing contact tracing, a whole contact tracing operation, and he is banning singing in churches? Are you going to tell me, while he keeps his own winery open, by the way? Are you going to tell me that's about our health anymore?
If he did not wear a mask at Walter Reed Medical Hospital, the military hospital, I guarantee it that would have been a huge problem, a much bigger problem than him wearing a mask, which is what they've been harping on since day one. And here's the thing, if one person got sick from there, they would have obviously blamed President Trump for not wearing a mask. And oh my gosh, we would never hear the end of it.
You know it's really bad when they're getting called out by CNN and CNN's Wolf Blitzer.
Shame on Fox News for cutting out. Shame on these organizations for not actually covering it. And then again, James Murdoch and his wife just donated over $1 million to Joe Biden's campaign. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about educating the public on the things that matter. They care about, recycling their same echo chamber, and it's all just a bunch of propaganda.
President of the United States retweeted you. And when that happened, a lot of people thought that he was getting very serious about firing Fauci.
I'm just not sure that he really has our best interests at heart.
Long past due that we fire Fauci and we get some real doctors in there who don't just push vaccines and lockdowns and who actually talk about boosting our immune system and common sense ways to boost our health.
The race wars are fueled by and large by the left. Look what happened even to NASCAR over the weekend. And the left and the MSN ran with this story, and it turned out to be false. Once again, just like Jussie Smollett. But they don't care. The left doesn't care because they want this kind of racial tension. They want this. Conservatives don't want it. We just want to move forward with our country. We are not.
This is heartbreaking. This is devastating. This is such a slap in the face to all of us salon owners and small businesses that are totally wiped out because we can't even open because of coronavirus. But these elites like nasty Nancy Pelosi can come in there and get their hair done.
Excuse me, but he was the vice president and he got nothing done.
So look at right there. This is telling you what it's about. It's not really about IQ or intelligence. It's about compliance.
America is not an inherently racist country. Anyone with common sense knows this. This isn't about racism or George Floyd. This is about tearing apart our country and completely erasing Americans' history. This is a Marxist totalitarian takeover to erase Americans and everything that we know and love, even the good things and the bad things, and replace it with their own government. This is very dangerous. This is Orwellian. And even though we have parts of our history that we don't like, that we don't agree with, that we're perhaps racist, we can't just erase our history, because where does it end then? We have people, activists of Black Lives Matter, like Sean King, calling for the erasure of Jesus Christ anytime that he's depicted white. There's no end.
Literally, it's everywhere, this fraud. It is so disgusting. It is so deep that InfoWars is here to bring you the best, most uncensored, raw news ever.
We need fighters in office.
child, your 2, 3, or 4-year-old child, going up there, sitting on Santa's lap, and he's saying, "Hey, Timmy, what do you want for Christmas?" Then whispering into your child's ear and saying, "And how about the coronavirus vaccine too? Great idea. Let's get you a coronavirus vaccine right around the corner. You can double up and tell Santa what you want for Christmas and get a coronavirus vaccine in the same hour." Woo.
We need a new word for disgusting because they keep on reaching all new lows, Greg. I mean, can just one person die peacefully without the demonic Democrats going in, exploiting their deaths, and then using as political propaganda to further their own agenda? Just one. I mean, this is what continues to happen over and over again.
Part of the Marxist agenda is to neuter men.
No, you're not suggesting because I'm actually talking. If you were that concerned about the pandemic, then why are you encouraging people to go out and
those are great. I think those are great talking points.
A virus doesn't just like skip people. It isn't discriminatory. If you're so concerned about your health, then why are you promoting all these protests where there's thousands of people that are not social distancing, obviously? Why are you supporting rules like it's so dishonest. It has no journalistic integrity. It's disgusting, and people need to actually know what's going on in America before it's too late.
That's all they should be focused on, okay? And you can't be fully focused on the military, on your mission, when you don't even know what bathroom you should go to. You don't know what gender you are. You're pumped up with a bunch of hormones.
And of all people, he should take a cognitive test because, as you saw the rest of the interview, he could barely even finish a sentence. This is like Weekend at Bernie's at this point, but they're like holding up his brain at this point, like just hoping that he makes it to the election and doesn't continue to say stupid things.
And please, 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 Joe Biden, do not do a video of your own naked telling everybody to vote for you. I think that may have the opposite effect.
I got hairy legs.
We need to change for our own good. We need to change. That's what they're telling us we need to do. Irony meters going through the roof right here. Planned Parenthood put out a tweet today saying, "We're so sorry to hear that Chrissy Teigen and John Legend lost their son, and we admire them for sharing their story." Planned Parenthood wrote this today as a tweet. You can't make this up.
News. I know you're reading
It's
this, but
insane,
you
guys.
watch it.
It's just so insanely
Because
biased.
every
It's
day
disgusting.
they're talking about
Disgusting.
ballots that are corrupt,
So unfair.
that are fraudulent.
And
So
millions
corrupt.
that are
Do you know how disgusting and sinister this is? They stole the election. They know 80 million people voted for Trump, but they are saying that we chose the Great Reset. God.
We feed them.
We'll continue this conversation down the road. First,
She does not represent them. She's the one that wants to keep them poor and impoverished and broke and hungry. We feed them. We feed them. We feed them. Like we're freaking dogs and livestock and animals.
Which is why I love Newsmax so much, because you guys are willing to tell the truth and actually share, because people need to know. People cannot continue to be brainwashed by one single narrative. It's always just one narrative, and this is why we're in such a divide that we're in today. This is why we have this war today.
I'm gonna pause you, and I want to get Laura's reaction because DeAnna does bring up a good point.
Savages! We're gonna steal the election! And sure enough, a few hours later, he did! But we're not gonna let them!
Oh, all of a sudden there's this breath of fresh air, Joe Biden, coming out from under his cave. No, he's not a breath of fresh air. He's not going to do anything different except for fundamentally transform America in the very worst way. And we can see it right now in the Democrat-run city.
The very, very rich businesses, the huge corporations, those are the ones that are going to survive this pandemic, like Amazon, like Walmart, etc. And we're all going to suffer for it. And we're going to be begging for the Great Reset. I'm starving. I'm dying. I'm suffering. I'm impoverished. I have no money. Please, Great Reset. Please, Clown Schwab. Please come in and save our lives. That's what they want. They want to bring us to our knees. Any normal situation, if this was any kind of relationship, if our partner, let's say our husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend, let's say that they starved us, forced us not to work, forced us at home, forced us out of a job, isolated us, took us away from our friends, away from our family, stripped us of any joy, told us we could not go to any holidays, we could not go to any celebrations, we could not go to any restaurants or bars. They put a mask over us, told us what to wear, and they forced us to rely only on them for a little bit of food, some crumbs, and a little bit of money. Otherwise, we couldn't work. We couldn't do anything. Now, if this wasn't any kind of a relationship, we would call that abuse, right? That would be an abusive relationship, a deeply abusive, psychologically abusive relationship. And we would probably get the hell out of there. But for some reason, this year, when it's COVID-19, under the guise of COVID-19, we think it's for our health and safety. It's for our own good. That's why they're doing it to us. It's for our health and safety to keep us safe and everyone else. Really? Really? This is an abusive relationship. This is an abusive relationship. This is mind control. If you don't vote for Biden, then you ain't black. Please, President Trump, please say that, please, because that really encapsulates how the Democrats really feel about the black community, that they're stupid, that they're just little monkeys, that they need to perform every 4 years, and that they own their vote, and they have to think in a monolith. Please, President Trump, say that.
The media is going to lambast Trump no matter what he does, especially in regards to this mask situation. There are so many other problems in the world right now, and yet they continue to focus on whether Trump wears a mask or not.
This mask is a symbol. It is a tool of tyranny.
Keep your mouth shut.
Of compliance, exactly. Keep your mouth shut and obey a rule that doesn't even work, that's anti-science.
Yeah, we ain't the criminals. We know what's going
Exactly.
on. We know who the
If they can get us to put a mask on that makes no medical sense, that makes no common sense, then they can get us to do everything that they want us to do.
right.
So we have to start with the mask and the stopping the compliance in all fashions and forms.
The mask propaganda continues to ramp up. There was a new study that was released that says, mask up. People who refuse to wear coronavirus masks have lower cognitive ability.
Hey, DeAnna Lorraine, one of our favorite conservatives from the West Coast. Fake news. I want to bring in DeAnna Lorraine, one of our favorite conservative thinkers from the West Coast.
As if they couldn't get any more desperate, they keep on getting more desperate. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Let's play this video of Nancy Pelosi saying, this was a setup. Oh my God, it's not my fault and I fell for it. Let's play this freaking video. They can't control you when you come from a strong, healthy, structured nuclear family, but they can control weak people without a strong moral compass. And this is why they're so sinister and satanic. They want to destroy everything that leads to strength and stability. They want to destroy the family unit. They want to destroy healthy masculinity, destroy healthy relationships. And we know how dangerous this is, because everything that happens with a black person, they already assume that it's racist now because of critical race theory and because of the Marxism and race baiting that's happening all over the country.
Yeah.
And what does that do? Of course, it shuts you up from ever calling 911 again. The Karen Act. Just the whole name bothers me so much, because the people that are taught from the ground up in their school every day that anything a white person does is racist towards you. It's all their internalized racism. It's their internalized white privilege and white supremacy. But Dr. Fauci, of course, loves to take Christmas and all holidays away. Dr. Fauci is the official Grinch who stole Christmas. Last Christmas. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Election Countdown, Taking Back America. Well, and I hate to be a Debbie Downer. I'm usually DeAnna Upper. But I'm just losing so much faith in our system. You would think that these, Republican governors or secretaries of state, Republican, conservatives, Supreme Court justices, you would think that they would have a spine, that they would have some balls, and that they would stand up for this. But it just seems like left and right, they're either folding like a lawn chair, they are getting, getting bought and paid for, they've got some blackmail deals, they got threatened. Like, what is going on? And He is a 32-year veteran of do-nothing Democrats. Meanwhile, there are real veterans who have fought for our freedoms that are suffering on the streets that she ignores.
We will not be a socialist country, and we will never be a shit.
Get high, there's no way out.
Did he?
I am fighting the head of the snake, Nancy Pelosi.
She is a communist.
I am running for Congress because I believe we have to fight. We cannot wave the white flag of surrender.
I might be small, but I'm feisty. Don't let my looks deceive you. I'm an Italian Spitfire, and I will go head to head with Nancy.
They will come out.